Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And the Lebron 19 has officially been unveiled, right? So as far as the price goes and as far as the release date goes, we do know the price. So the Lebron 19 is set to retail for $200 freaking dollars. Of course, it's LeBron's shoes, so I mean, that's pretty normal for his signature shoe, right? So $200, very expensive. As far as the actual release date, we don't know about that yet. People are saying it's supposed to release in July of 2021, so next month. And of course, the film Space Jam 2 is releasing on July 16th of 2021. So maybe on that day, the Lebron 19 is going to release. They're probably going to have like a surprise drop or whatever when it releases. So just watch out for that. I don't know. I mean, obviously they didn't say anything about it, but I'm guessing they might have a surprise drop, right? So we got two colorways that have been unveiled. And the Lebron 19 looks like I'm not a huge fan of how it looks right now. Okay, so as far as the traction goes, we don't know what the traction looks like at all. We can see a little bit of the outsole. I mean, just a tiny bit from these pictures, you know, from the trailer of Space Jam 2 where LeBron's wearing the actual shoe. And when LeBron's wearing the actual shoe, it looks more like CGI. Like from this back angle, the shoe looks very like CGI. So that's probably not the actual LeBron 19. Maybe it is. I don't know. For me, it just looks CGI and looks kind of fake. I don't know why. But anyways, so there's that. But the actual LeBron 19, we got some actual pictures. And we got, like I said, we got two colorways. We got the Space Jam colorway and we got this ice blue and white colorway. So as far as the cushioning setup goes, so it's kind of a new cushioning setup, right? So we can see a crazy zoom unit here in the forefoot. We can see the zoom fibers. It looks very large. I mean, like that bubble looks huge, right? So I mean, okay, so for example, here in the Lebron 16, we have a very large volume zoom unit here in the forefoot, but it's bottom loaded, you know? So you don't really feel like the zoom right underneath your foot, kind of like Zoom Strobel does. It just feels really bouncy, like underneath your foot, kind of like a spring, right? So here's the Lebron 16. The Lebron 17 kind of you know, they made the zoom pods here in the forefoot. They segmented it as well, so it was a lot harder to feel here in the forefoot as compared to the Lebron 16. And then the Lebron 18, of course, we have a full-length zoom unit, which was super duper nice. You can feel it right underneath your foot, right? So I'm pretty curious as to how this new zoom unit is going to feel. They said it is a new development of zoom, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it looks really big, but it is bottom loaded, it looks like. So I don't know how it's gonna feel. I don't know how easy it's gonna be able to feel, but we also have like a dismantling kind of picture of the Lebron 19, which is interesting, right? So shout out to Say It With Your Kicks. But if you see the new zoom unit here in the forefoot, that looks huge, right? It reminds me a lot of the Jordan 34 and the Jordan 35 zoom unit, but it might even be a little bit bigger here in the Lebron 19. But also look, like if you see the foam midsole, we can see like here in the forefoot, there's a hole, right? So the foam is actually really thin. So hopefully that zoom unit is really easy to feel. And hopefully there's not a stiff ass strobel board between your foot and that zoom unit. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I feel like it might even feel like the Jordan 34 or the Jordan 35, which is not a bad thing at all. Super bouncy in the forefoot, right? Also here in the heel, so they're saying it's a dual chambered air unit in the heel, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure that's new, especially for basketball. And if you look at the dismantled picture, the Air Max unit looks nothing like I've ever seen. Air Max usually doesn't look like that. It actually kind of reminds me of Vapor Max a little bit. So they might be using a little bit of Vapor Max technology in the Lebron 19. And also, if you look at the shoe, it looks pretty thin. Actually, no, it looks pretty thick. I mean, if you look at it and compare it to the 17 and the 18, the Air Max unit looks around the same. So I'm not super excited about that. But also, I mean, as you guys all know, the LeBrons have never had good lateral stability, right? Which I really don't understand why. And I remember here, I think it was the LeBron 17 or the 16 where LeBron rolled his ankle in like a practice and then they started putting outriggers in his shoe. You remember that? And it's like, okay, well, why don't you just put that in the regular shoe, you know? But anyways, so yeah, there's really no outrigger there. I mean, the 16 had a little bit and then the 17 had a little bit as well. But not like crazy. I definitely think it should have protruded out maybe like 4 or 5 millimeters more. And the LeBron 18 had no outrigger. Look at that. And also, not only that, but you're super duper high up off the ground. Like if you saw the dismantling of most of the LeBrons, they're like in the heel, it's like 30 millimeters off the floor, which is insane. Very, very high up off the ground. And also you have the Air Max unit, which makes it feel a little bit more unstable as well. So coupling all of those, like a narrow like base here, high up off the ground, and also kind of unstable here on the lateral side and the heel, you get lateral instability, right? And you are more prone to rolling your ankle and stuff like that. I never rolled my ankle, but like it just didn't feel stable. But here in the LeBron 19, you can see here in the forefoot that zooming it does protrude out. It looks pretty damn wide, so that looks really, really nice. I'm actually very curious as to how that's gonna feel. And then the heel, we got that Air Max unit, but it looks like it kind of protrudes out as well. Will it have as much compression as the Air Max unit, you know, here in the 18 as well as here in the 17? Maybe. It does look a little segmented as far as the Air Max unit goes in the heel. They are saying it's dual chambered. I feel like it'll have a good amount of compression. Also, it all depends on how high the PSI is, right? So in the LeBron 18, it felt like the PSI was a little bit lower, I feel like, than the LeBron 17. But anyways, the cushioning setup looks insane, and hopefully it's not too high up off the ground. And also we have a decoupling. You know, I'm not a huge fan of decoupling, but it looks like the LeBron 19 is decoupled. As far as the support goes, I mean, support looks like it's gonna be freaking awesome, right? So we can see in the Space Jam colorway, this blue part, it looks like foam. And just to mention, we don't really know what the foam is. You know, here in the LeBron 18, we had full length React. Here in the LeBron 19, I'm guessing it's just probably Phylon. If it was React, that would be nice as well. I mean, it is $200, right? But also that blue part does come up to act as a sidewall for lateral containment. And here in the midfoot area, we have a crazy plastic piece that comes up as well. It looks like LeBron's signature is also on that plastic piece, as well as a crown, because, you know, he's the king or whatever. Here in the ankle area, we have, okay, so I don't like this like blue part. You know, it looks really, it's just a plastic, and I don't know, it'll probably stiffen up the material a lot. I mean, I love what they did here in the LeBron 18 to make a low cut shoe, but then they went back to, I guess, the LeBron 17 where it was a high cut. So the LeBron 19 looks like a very, very high cut shoe, and I'm very curious to see how stiff that blue like plastic piece is. Also, as you guys can see, there's no swoosh, or there's no big swoosh on this shoe, which I don't like. I like to have a very big swoosh. The LeBrons have been, you know, hiding the swoosh. They've been putting very, very small Nike swooshes. So here in the ankle area on this blue plastic piece, we can see a very small swoosh. So, so there's that. As far as the materials go, the materials look pretty disappointing. I mean, it looks like a mesh, to be honest, like a mesh or textile. And then also here in the forefoot, it looks like there's like a screen mesh over this textile material. The laces look like a flat lace, and we have the reintroduction of flywire in a LeBron shoe, right? Which is pretty dope. I love the look of flywire. So on the second eyelet, we can see 2 flywire cables, and then the third to the last eyelet, we can see 2 flywire cables as well. It goes underneath the material. It looks to be free flowing as well. If the laces go directly through the flywire, it'll give you better lockdown. The tongue looks very, very large. It looks to be a one booty upper. You know, if you look through this picture, the tongue looks like it's connected to the heel, and the heel tab looks very, very high. So another one booty upper, that's pretty dope. And also on the tongue, it looks like maybe another Air Max unit, but I don't know, we'll have to see. You know, in the LeBron 18, the Air Max units didn't really do a whole lot. And as far as the aesthetics go, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of it right now. I mean, I feel like the LeBron 18 looks better and the LeBron 16 looks better. The LeBron 17 never really grew on me all too much as far as the aesthetics go. But also, I mean, okay, so the LeBrons have not been very popular. Like, if you look at the top list, I mean, if you saw the video, NBA players don't really play in the LeBrons. And they have huge feet, you know, of course, they're really, really big. And LeBrons are probably super duper heavy for them, you know what I mean? And a lot of people that I talk to, like a lot of my friends and stuff like that, don't really like to play in LeBrons because they're heavy, they're bulky, they're high up off the ground, and it's just you know, not a very responsive feeling shoe. So for example, the LeBrons are freaking heavy, right? So the LeBron 18 is 15.77 ounces. The LeBron 17 is like 16 something, 16.19 ounces. And then the LeBron 16 is 15.59 ounces. So I mean, yeah, all of his most recent shoes have been extremely heavy, and also lateral stability wasn't the best in all of these shoes as well, especially the LeBron 18. So it looks like they fixed that, at least in the LeBron 19. Also, hopefully the LeBron 19 is a lot lighter, hopefully in like the 13-14 ounce range, reminiscent of the LeBron 13. Actually, the LeBron 13 is very, very light. It's like 13 ounces, I think. Yeah, so 13.12 ounces. So that's pretty damn light for a LeBron, you know? So hopefully it's in that weight range, and also hopefully it's not too like high up off the ground, you know? I mean, the cushion looks pretty crazy. So it's probably gonna be kind of high up, kind of like the LeBron 16 maybe, I don't know. Also, it looks like they went away from knits. You know, the LeBron 16 had a really nice knit material, same with the 17 and the 18 with the knit posit. So they went away from that, and hopefully that does reduce the weight a little bit, because this type of knit material is quite thick, and I feel like it adds a little bit of weight to the shoe. So the LeBron 19 looks to have like a thinner like mesh material or like a textile material. So hopefully overall the LeBron 19, it kind of changes it up a little bit from like his most recent shoes, where it's been a little heavy, a little bulky, and also laterally unstable. Release date is supposed to be around next month, so just stay tuned for that. 200 bucks, pretty damn expensive. So anyways, those are the leaks of the LeBron 19. Tell us your thoughts down in the comment section below, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.